section 18, unusual circumstances. Literally the day after I finished putting together this outline for the extensive course like this, and chopping it up into these segments, one of our partners reached out to me and said, I have a script that is entirely puppets. And I'm like, I've actually had a script like that as well. So yes, where are we going with this? I can speak to this. And he said, do the shot types become relative to the puppet size? Are shot types subjective? And that's why this is going in the section unusual circumstances. Because my answer was, there needs to be a rule about this, and yes. So let's say you are doing a film that is entirely Italian greyhounds. So if you say it's a wide shot of Bobby, you know that the rule for a wide shot is head to feet, whole body. Well, but really it's Bobby. Bobby is 4 pounds?
Oh, 10 pounds.
10 pounds of teeny tiny. So really we know that in truth, Bobby would be a close-up, right? Her whole body would, but no, all the actors are Bobby's size roughly. A close-up would be from here up on Bobby. So do you change things, do you change your shot type dimensions subjectively if your entire cast is a different scale? And my answer was yes.
Yes. Wow.
And the only reason is because only if it's the entire cast. That's what I'm saying. So you still keep your shot names the same, but your scale is subjective if your entire cast. So I said, if this is partly from the dog's perspective and partly from human perspective, keep it in human scale and just work with it. But if it's all puppets or it is all little dogs, then your scale is subjective. Okay, so that's an unusual circumstance. Another unusual circumstance. Shots of a character where one character is filming the other character in your scene. Like Lee is the camera person and we're actors. And I'm saying, okay, Christopher, you ready to film that opener for our YouTube channel? Okay, I'm ready. Okay, action, dude. And the filmmaker asked me, well, I want to actually use the footage that Jennifer's filming. I don't want to have to redo it. I want to be able to cut back and forth between the wide shot and actually use footage from Jennifer's phone. How would I stipulate that? And I said, in the shots that are the footage, you would stipulate in a production note, shot on Jennifer's camera. Obviously you'd say the character's name. Shot on the character's name's camera or phone. So you'd add that as a production note so that that when you're done with shot 12, filming them, you actually also just got shot 13. So that's how you would handle something like that. Making something vanish. I think we've already touched on this about, make sure it's tripoded. Now, interestingly enough, I was on set of Jared's house, and the director and filmmaker, had been taught a different way of doing it that was heavy on post. And I'm like, no, making something appear or disappear is the easiest practical effect ever. And this is how you do it. Camera is on a tripod. Press record. Get the hell away from it. This eraser, we're filming the eraser.
Right.
The eraser is there. The eraser is there. The eraser is there. Lee, please remove the eraser. No one touches the freaking camera. No one. No one should even get near it. I like how people walk away from the tripod. Please remove it. Lee removes it. We keep filming. We keep filming. We keep filming. End shot. I turn off the camera. So what the editor does is they remove Lee's hand removing, and they simply put those two shots, the two splices of the single shot together. Yes?
Rather than simply turn the camera off, remove the eraser, and turn the camera back on.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Even
This is
turning
why
on and off could
turning
move
it
it.
on and off will move it.
Okay.
Yep.
Even on a tripod. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh my gracious, there is so much give.
Okay.
So you simply we take that part out. And then it is the exact same shot and you're golden. And if it's tripoded and no one wiggles the tripod, I mean, so be careful.
Yeah.
Walking on the floor sometime, you have to be careful. It has to be rock solid. Okay, so there's how you do that. Practical effects. Always try to find practical effects. What does practical effects mean? It means ways to do things in the moment, as opposed to things that are insane. Like, for instance, this is a class primarily taken by adults, so I don't mind the drug reference here, but I also think it is important to understand. When people are drinking or doing drugs in film, they're not really drinking or doing drugs. And I would just like to say that, because there's a lot of urban legends out there. Oh, this person did this for real. You know what? Bull. So we had a character that was supposed to do a line of cocaine. And I was researching this because there was a couple of ways to do it. And I knew that actually one of the ways to do it is you can get B12 powder, which reads like cocaine, and you can have the actor actually snort it. And the actor in this case was me. It was in the film Black Bishop, Red Queen, where, I also, have sex and am naked and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, well, if I'm ever going to ask an actor to do this, I want to do it. And then Brianna and we kept talking about it. We're like, this is putting something in our body. And everyone on these forums, these websites, they say it's okay. They say it's okay, but she was nervous, She's a wonderful woman. She's looking out for me. And I'm just like, we got to do this. Let's just do it. Okay. And she goes, no, I'm going to do a little bit more research. And she goes, okay, for serious, you're going to lean in with it was actually metal. It was this metal blood red tube. You're going to lean in, you're going to do the line, but instead of inhaling, you're going to exhale. Yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And that totally worked. You could not tell the difference.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't, and I'm talking, we were close in, because this is kind of it's a big moment for this particular character. And then we were taking some other takes, doing some other things, and we realized, with just as dramatic an angle, we could shoot this where you see the line, the camera tracks, and then when I'm doing the line, you don't see the line. Right. So all I had to do was move. Practical common sense. Take that extra moment. You can still get that punch of those dark moments. We had a fight scene. Oh God, again, and it was my character. James Rowland, the actor James Rowland. If you guys know him, 50% of the time he's posting on his Facebook page about acting gigs, and the other 50% of the time he's posting about the fact that he is ripped and he's at the gym every day. He is a behemoth of a man, and he was supposed to grab me by the arm, spin me around, slam me against a wall, take the gun out of the back of my pants, throw the gun, backhand me, and then tell me what's what. Now, stage combat is a thing. Right. And if you have an actor in any kind of combative situation, then you need to either pay for them to take stage combat classes, or you need to cast someone who can do it. Not so, I can do it, man. Not that kind of do it. Someone who's had experience doing this. Then you need to have either yourself or a fight coordinator that can walk them through it like it's a dance. And you need to triple the time that you take for that shot so that you have rehearsed it 2 or 3 times perfectly with no one getting hurt before you actually film it.
Safety first.
Absolutely. And if you have a take where someone really gets hurt in the take, you do not use it. You're like, oh, come on, that's gold. That's a liability. Yeah. And if it gets out, like in your bonus features, or because the actor likes to talk, because, hey, man, I took it, you will lose your insurance bond. That scene went beautifully, but I didn't do anything right. Because, again, the only person who could get hurt was me, right? Yeah. So I had torn my rotator cuff a year earlier. Never thought of that. That maybe I shouldn't be grabbed by the arm, spun around, and shoved into a wall. Totally didn't catch myself. Totally really hit the wall. Beautiful concrete wall. Super fabulous. We used the shot because I didn't say anything. And we just kept going. But I know then that I made it just sound complicated. It really wasn't complicated. It was a very basic blocking, and no one tripped. We did the blocking just great. The shot is perfect. but I got hurt. And so now I know how easy it is for an actor to get hurt. So be very, very careful there. It's much better, never let an actor convince you I can take the punch.
No.
Never. It's always an angle. It's just, and I can't tell, men, women, all ages, everyone's like, you can really slap me, it's fine. No! No, just angle the camera. And I'm not saying no as a mommy, I'm saying no as a professional. You know, this is a liability. People get hurt. There we go. All right. If you run into an unusual circumstance, don't be afraid to contact me. If you go to another partner, that's perfectly fine. You guys might be able to work through it or whatever. But if it winds up that we need a new rule for modular method, someone's got to come to me because I've got to get it into the course. So, I mean, I'm kind of like, don't come up with a rule amongst yourselves and don't share it. You know, let's make it across the board. Okay, so that is section 18, and that is a wrap. So moving on into section 19.
One question.
Smart.
Do you have any like stunt people that you use that regularly who do like fancy stunt?
I don't, but I mean, I haven't used someone, but I know I have people in our community that are.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's totally fine too. I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, look, any of us who watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer know that Buffy didn't, Sarah Michelle Gellar didn't do her fight scenes. We could tell because the other woman looked completely different, even in profile. But you know what? We all went with it because we don't really want actors to actually get hurt. It's not fun.
You can also, you can keep things real simple. And you don't need a big involved fight scene.
Yeah.
You can put a guy just in an arm bar and get the same, you know, effect. You don't have this, like you said, this huge knockdown, drag out 5-minute fight scene.
No.
Unless, and if you, because if you are, then like you said, you're going to have some.
That's right.
Some trained experts.
And that's when you're like, okay, so you know, like how I said about the trees have names. I knew my budget was going to be that flashback to when he's remembering, the grandpa is remembering when his daughter died, his adult daughter, and he then had custody of his granddaughter, and his entire life changed at that moment. Before then, he was a perfectly fine police chief of a small town, awesome guy, but that moment broke him because he and his daughter were very close and it broke him. I knew that all my money was going to go into buying that stock footage. And I'm like, but that's what it is. If you want to have a Fight Club scene, hire, or give them some killer back end, a huge portion, hire a coordinator that can set that scene up for you.